Hello and welcome back to another Final Table commentary. If at any point in time you find yourself not caring for the commentary, there'll be a link in the description down below to the video and BCP Poker Replays YouTube account, so if you choose to do so, you can check out the action in some silence. With that being said, let's hop on into it. We got a 2K PKO from Winter Series 2022. We got Kalik starting things off with a queen and a 10 going for the open. We got Neymar on the final table. We got Probris. We got Arthur, Rate a Lot, Coco Jambo, Wizzo, G-Net, and Centaurus. Should be a fun one, very stacked final table. And then we got a soccer player. No, I'm just kidding. Neymar is a very competent, competitive human being. Should be fun to see what they bring to the final table here today. 10-4-2 flop goes check, bet, fold. I suppose Rate a Lot with the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Could always go for some sort of check raise. Not going to happen here today. Rate a Lot just moves along. King 2 for Arthur. On the button, they will go for the open. King Jack for Rate a Lot in the small blind. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Thinking about a 3-bet, and they are going to find it. They jam it all in, and they'll get it through pre. Couple of queens for G-Net. Queen for Centaurus will quickly hit the muck. Arthur with a king and a 10 will also probably let this go, excuse me. Wizzo win the big with a 3 and a 5. Plenty of chips, says let's go to the flop. Ace 10 6 flop goes check, bet, fold, and we're moving along. Just kidding, G-Net checks it on back. Ace on the turn. I figured with the flush draws out there, all those straight draws, G-Net would put in a little bet ski with the queen and the queen, but they pass on the spot. They say let's keep the pot a little bit smaller. Gonna put in a bet ski on the turn here with 2 flush draws, and again all the straight draws out there. The bet gets through. Centaurus with a king and a queen will raise it on up. I see an ace and a king for Wizzo. Would be interesting to see what size they go with out of the small blind here, playing 26 blinds effective. They say all in is the easiest option. And they take it down pre. I suppose making it something like 7 blinds won't make a whole lot of sense. Just stick it all in and get it through. Or go flip for a bounty. Boopity boo. Neymar with an ace and a king this time. They'll raise it on up. G-Net will call from the small with a king and a jack. Centaurus getting a fair price with 6-10 suited. Oh, look at this flop. 8-7-5. 2 hearts for G-Net and Centaurus. Neymar puts in about a half pot size bet here with the ace king. G-Net might stick it all in. And what do we do with our straight draw and our flush draw for Centaurus? Got no idea. I suppose G-Net could also just play call, so we'll just see what happens before we start predicting the action. G-Net finds the call. Centaurus will rip it all in. Neymar says, what the hell, I'm going to fold now. And then G-Net says, wowee wee wah. 8-7-5 flop. We got a king and a jack, 2 hearts. G-Net does find the call here, slight favorite, and boppity boo. They're going to get the job done. I wonder what the equities are there. It's something like G-Net's got like 60 or 70%. Don't quite remember what the equities are. Shouldn't try to guess. Boppity boo, boppity bee, boppity boo, 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 boo. 5 and a 3 for Probris in the big blind. We'll see if he gets a walk here. 8-10 for clicks. We'll actually just jam it all in, facing the 2 smaller stacks for about 16 blinds and get it on through. 4-6 suited for Wizzo. With that big stack, they're going to pass on the spot with Arthur in the big blind with 40 blinds, plenty of defending chips. King 3 suited for Probris will rip it all in and get it on through. $2,500 bounty on their head. I don't imagine Arthur goes bounty hunting here. The chips are real important. 900k. Just seems like it's a little bit too big right now. Arthur is doing some quick math. They're sitting out now. I wonder what happened there. Must be some internet issues. King Jack for G-Net off the 40 big blind stack will go for the open. Queen Jack suited for Probris off of 17. Do we jam? Probris says yes we do. And G-Net will find the fold. Queen 10 suited for Probris. Boppity boo, boppity bee. They'll go for the open. Do we just jam? We don't cover rate a lot in the small blind. We cover Coco in the big. Probra says, yeah, we just jam once again. And we get it on through. Ace-5 off for Neymar. They'll rip it all in. Folds to Wizzo. Wizzo in the big blind with a queen and a 3. They're just going to pass on the spot. Could have looked them up for the $1,700 bounty. Wasn't too bad of a price. Wizzo with a couple of 7s. Fold around to him in the small blind. They'll raise 3 bigs and take it down pre-flop. What do we got going on here? A bunch of bullshit. King 7 suited for clicks in the big blind is a defending hand. G-net in the small with a queen and a 6. Once folded 2 will limp it on in. Clicks, checks it on back. Queen 9 3 flop. Super fair. G-net bets a blind. I don't know what to do with the king 7 here. Do we just let it go? We get the backdoor straight draw. Got an overcard. No backdoor flush draw, so click says I'm gonna pass. Ace jack for Coco Jambo. They'll rip it all in. Unlikely get it on through. G-net with a king and a 10 says I'm not going bounty hunting right here and right now. Boppity boo. Ace king for Arthur. Oh my lord, is that... I swear they were freaking mowing the lawn yesterday. I don't know how they're doing it again. Ace king 9 flop. Arthur with top 2. Probers with the straight draw to the jack. Wizzo with the 5s. The underpair quickly lets it go. Same with the straight draw. Ace 10 for Coco Jambo. We'll go for the min raise and take it down pre-flop. How many times can you mow your lawn in a week? I don't get it. Ace 5 for Neymar. They'll rip it all in and take it down pre. I suppose Arthur could go bounty hunting. They got a 10 and a 9. That's 3 of a kind for Neymar. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Wasn't too big of a stack. Arthur says I'm gonna get it in here with a fair amount of equity most of the time. Again, only a $1,700 bounty on Neymar's head, but had Arthur won the pot, that would have brought them up to just under 50 blinds. Put them in a very powerful situation as we see Probers get it all in versus the ace jack. Probers will knock out Coco Jambo. Just like that, they're gone. Zo Alonso. 4-4 for Probers. They'll raise it on up right a lot with a couple of 10s. 16 blinds will dunk it all in. $1,700 bounty on the line. Probers does some quick math and finds the fold. Queen jack for Wizzo. Once folded 2 will get the chance to open it on up. Clicks in the big with a 7 and a 3 of the same suit. 20 blinds deep. Doesn't look like a defending spot. They just fold. Ace 10 for G-net. We see a Wizzo open with the 3-6 suited. We love to see it. G-net can play call. Clicks will rip it all in with a couple of 9s. And G-net, I suppose, could go bounty hunting, but might pass on the spot. We're going to find out real soon now, aren't we? G-net does fold. Queen 10 for rate a lot off 21 bigs. Just going to fold. G-net with an ace and a 3 of the same suit. Playing about 30 blinds deep, they're going to go for the min raise. And this will get through pre-flop. Ace 8 suited for G-net. Looks like another raise. Clicks with a couple of 4s. Looks like a fold. Probers with an ace and an 8 in the small blind. Also looking like a fold. We could 3-bet. Look to put some pressure on G-net. That would be cool. Probers says no, we're not going to do it with ace 8 offsuit. Arthur in the big with a jack and a 9 will defend. 5-5-4 flop goes check. I don't know. We're going to find out. Arthur checks. G-net could put in a small bet here. There's the small bet. Arthur could go for a check raise, but the jack 9 doesn't make a whole lot of sense, so Arthur just folds. Couple 4s in the small, a couple 3s in the big. Could just see a jam from Arthur and a rate a lot fold. Could see a limp jam. Fold? I don't know. It seems like whoever jams first is going to get the pot. Arthur rips it all in first and takes it down. Doobity doo, a 6 and a 2 for Arthur on the button. We'll just fold. Wizzo Wizzo getting the walk there. Clicks with a couple of 7s. We'll raise it on up. Wizzo Wizzo will defend from the small blind with a king and a queen. G-net in the big with a 9-4 suited. Getting a great price comes along to the ace 8-4 flop. 7s are still good. Hard to know that on this flop. Deuce on the turn. Checks around once again, 3 on the river. G-net doesn't have a real good reason to put in a bet here, but he could buy the pot with a bet. One-liner to the 5 out there, clicks just with the pair of 7s. In the end, it checks around. No surprises there, clicks takes the pot. Queen 3 for G-net. Goes for the Limpsky here. 8-3 can get a flop for free. Or we can stick in the raise here, try to buy the pot pre-flop. And that's what clicks lands on, and they do get the job done. Ace-6 for Wizzo Wizzo will go for the open. Neymar in the big with a jack and a 3. Just gonna fold on doopity-doo. Couple of 9s for Arthur, we'll raise it on up. Queen 10 for Neymar in the small blind. Probably gonna fold, but who knows. Nice fold by Neymar. Couple of 9s this time for Wizzo Wizzo. Boppity boo, boppity bee, they go for the open. They are only playing about 27 blinds deep with clicks. Ace 8 for Neymar will rip it all in. They're gonna need some help here. Wizzo Wizzo will go bounty hunting. Any aces or a couple of spades maybe? Nope, just like that, Wizzo Wizzo gets the Neymar bounty. Boopity boo, boop boop boo. So suppose Neymar could have waited a little bit longer for a stronger holding. With that being said, it's a fair spot to take as we see Probus rip in the ace and the king. Like, look at Wizzo Wizzo's opening 6-9 suited. Ace 8 offsuit is actually just a fair jam. Chippy V, it makes a lot of sense. Neymar surely doesn't give a shit about a couple $1,000. Certainly just playing for the win. So take a chippy V spot as we see the 5-5 flipping versus the queen and the jack of the same suit. Right a lot makes us straight on the river. Probus with a couple of 3s will rip it all in. Right a lot folds the 5s. Wizzo Wizzo won't fold the jacks. Probus is going to need some help or they're Gonzo Alonzo. Ooh, they got some chop outs, but they're not going to come. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Anyways, so yeah, again, Neymar is just playing for the win. Took the chippy V spot. Positive chippy V spot is what I'm trying to say. Holy shit, words are getting difficult for me here. 6-5 for right a lot. We'll go for the open. Clicks with a couple of 4s. We'll defend from the small blind. Ace-6 calls the big. 9-7-5 flop. Bottom pair and a straight draw for right a lot. Goes for the Betsky. Arthur with a straight draw in the backdoor nut flush draw. Raise. Plays call. We both make a straight on the turn. Arthur leads on out. Right a lot calls. We got a one-liner to a 6 or 10. Queen 10 is the nuts. Both players sitting here with the 6. We'll see a jam from Arthur, and I imagine right a lot lands on a call. Do we ever fold here now that there's a one-liner to a 10 out there? I got no idea. You know what? Right a lot does land on the fold option, and Arthur gets one through there with the same holding. Boppity boo, boppity bee. That's a big pot going their way. 34 blinds. Ace king suited. They'll go for a non-all-in 3-bet. Wizzo Wizzo with a king and a queen. Might just fold. We could always 4-bet all in as a bluff. Ah, we land on the call option. Of all the options, I wasn't expecting that. Queen 5-2 goes bet, call. What's the turn bring? Super small bet. Another queen. Wizzo Wizzo has this board locked up. Arthur's ace-king is actually good here a lot. There's some pocket pairs that you're losing to. And they probably aren't going to find the fold, so Arthur just checks it on over. Doopity-doo, doopity-doo. We see Wizzo Wizzo sticking a small bet. 400k into about 1.9 mil. And Arthur does find the nice fold with the ace and the king. Nice pot going Wizzo's way. They're up to 80 blinds. They get a free flop with the 6 and the 7. King 7-4 flop goes bet call. Deuce on the turn. Rate a lot leads on out once again with the 8 of diamonds, a very interesting card. It's a small bet. We're not getting Wizzo to fold. Queen of diamonds on the river. Rate a lot will slow down. 600k in the middle will slide Wizzo's way. Rate a lot does wake up with an ace and a king of the same suit. Unfortunately, there's not too much other playable holdings. G-net with queen 5 suited could go to the flop. They do come along. Jack 8 goes check. Check, 5 on the turn. That's good news for G-net. Rate a lot running like shit here. Doopity doo. 10 on the river. Pretty boring pot. I don't think G-net bets, and Rate a lot won't bluff with the ace king. Doopity doo. Ace 8 for Rate a lot. They'll rip it all in for 11 blinds. Clicks in the big with a couple of ducks. Sees a $1,700 bounty on the line. This is an important ass pot if they do find the call and they do just fold. Looks like it was a little bit too big. 11 blinds. You only have 17 behind. And clicks folds the ducks. Ace Jack suited for G-net. We'll raise and take it down pre. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Queen 9 for Arthur in the small blind can rip it all in, and Rate a lot has a calling hand with the ace 7 off. 8-4-2 flop, 4 on the turn. No queen or 9. Arthur doesn't get the not the ladder. The bounty is what I'm trying to say. He gets an ace and a 6 of the same suit. We'll rip it all in. Rate a lot with a couple of 9s. We'll play call. Wizzo will rip it all in with the ace and the jack. Diamond? Diamond on the river. So Arthur's still alive. Rate a lot wins the flip against Wizzo. They're up to about 50 blinds, and just like that, Rate a lot might take this tournament over. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Arthur's all in with a king and a queen. I mean, Wizzo still has 40 blinds, so it's a little too early to call a Rate a lot victory. But you know what? I kind of smell it coming. Ace king in the big blind might just get a walk here. Yep. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Ace 10 for G-net. We'll go for the open. And look at, like, clicks and G-net. They're still in the game. Arthur with 11 blinds is a double up away from being in a fair spot. This thing is so far from over. 8-9 suited for Rate a lot. We'll go for the open. G-net with an ace in the big blind. We'll defend in some manner. They're thinking about a 3-bet here. Do we ever go for a non-all-in 3-bet? G-net says we'll just call and play post-flop. Jack 4-2 goes check, bet. Weird spot for G-net. Jack 4-2, G-net without a heart, but has the big heart in their heart. Well, that doesn't make sense. Big heart in their chest? That makes a little bit more sense, but it doesn't roll off the tongue as well. Anyways, the ace-high holds up. King on the river. Would love to see a bluff here by Rate a lot just to see what G-net does on the river. Would have been put in a tough spot. Instead, they get the free showdown, and they'll scoop a small one. Ace 9 from the small. G-net will rip it all in for 14 bigs, and Calix will fold the 8 high. Excuse me. Uh-oh, Clicks ripped it in with a 4 and a 10. He does flop a pair of 10s, and he king, jack, queen will get the job done for Arthur, and a queen on the river. So Arthur makes the straight. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Clicks down to 2 blinds. Wizzo with an ace and a queen will limp it on in. Arthur completes from the small. Rate a lot checks back. The big blind, jack 6-4 flop. We've all got a spade here. Ace of spades for Rate a lot. Arthur with the king of spades. Queen of spades for Wizzo. Wizzo will put in a small bet ski here. Arthur calls from the small. Rate a lot calls a spade on the turn. Are you serious, Poker Stars? What the hell is this hand? So we get a limp? Oh my lord, and the turn checks around. Arthur puts in a big bet ski. Rate a lot has the nuts. Very small raise by Rate a lot. And Arthur says, this is obviously the nuts or nothing. Is it ever 2 pairs? Nope. Is it ever a set? Unlikely. What sort of bluff would it be? Yeah, it's so hard to find when Arthur folds the second nuts. I'm pretty sure that I didn't see a straight flush on the board. I'm sure it was potentially out there. Ace 10 for clicks will limp it all in with their 1.4 blinds. Riddle-a-lot will put in the raise with the 8 and the jack and isolate the bounty. 10 on the flop, that's good news. Oh no! Jack on the river, Riddle-a-lot gets the bounty. I thought clicks was going to get back in the game, but not here, not today. No siree. 5-7 for Riddle-a-lot with the big stack. We'll raise the button. 8-9 calls from the small. Queen Jack 9 flop. Interesting spot for Riddle-a-lot with our 7 high. We do block some spade draws. We're going to have to go for a bet ski here. 250k into about 700. Queen on the turn. Nice defend from Wizzo Wizzo. They do get a free river. Deuce of spades. Wizzo Wizzo thinking about a little block bet here. They're going to land on the check option. They're going to get a free showdown. And they'll scoop the pot. And they get a couple of aces. Riddle-a-lot with the raise with the ace and the 8. Wizzo Wizzo will 3-bet. Riddle-a-lot could jam. Don't do it. Plays call 9-9-8 flop. This is horrific news for Riddle-a-lot. 1.7 million chips in the middle. Wizzo Wizzo gives him a free turn. That's bad news for Wizzo Wizzo. Great news for Riddle-a-lot. So everything just got a whole lot better. Wizzo Wizzo will bet half pot on the turn. I think Riddle-a-lot calls for 1. 5 of diamonds on the river should save him. Right? Does Wizzo Wizzo even jam here? Try to get called by a queen, try to get called by an 8. Wizzo Wizzo does find the jam and Riddle-a-lot quickly folds. Nicely done. So it's 50 blinds for Wizzo Wizzo now. Riddle-a-lot down to 30. Arthur with 11 will rip it all in from the small blind and bring themselves up to 12 blinds. Ace 8 for Riddle-a-lot. 9 and 10 for Wizzo Wizzo. 10-8-7 flop goes check, bet, call, deuce on the turn. Dippity-doo-doo-doo-doo. I don't know why I thought Riddle-a-lot was going to go for a raise on the flop. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Get the deuce of clubs on the turn and Riddle-a-lot just goes for the check fold. And then they're just folding the 5-5? Seriously? That doesn't seem like Riddle-a-lot. G-net will get a walk. Boppity bop. Queen 10 for Wizzo Wizzo will raise and take it down pre. Ace and a 3 for Arthur will rip from the small. 9-7 for Riddle-a-lot, thinking about going bounty hunting. If they double up Arthur here, that would be horrific news. So they just fold. Ace Queen for G-net. 8-5 for Wizzo Wizzo, flopping a pair of 5s. 2 overcards for G-net. No backdoor straight draw. No, there's one. Deuce 4. No backdoor flush draw for him. We'll bet half pot. 4 of spades on the turn. Good card for G-net to fire away at. Right? Ah, you know what? Not so much. Like a pair of 9s feels comfy. A pair of 5s feels comfy. 5-4 makes 2 pair. 3-4 makes 2 pair. Wizzo Wizzo with 5-8 offsuit. I wonder how wide he defends. Obviously fairly wide, as he'll scoop the 1.2 mil in the middle. Doopity-doo. Ace and a jack for Arthur will rip it all in and get it on through. Ooh, ace and a king for Arthur. King jack for Riddle-a-lot. Might face a 3-bet here from Wizzo Wizzo with the ace and the 5. Oh, nice little fold there by Wizzo Wizzo. Arthur will rip it all in. And Riddle-a-lot might land on the call here. $3,200 bounty on the line. A lot of pocket pairs will rip. A lot of ace high. Nice fold by Riddle-a-lot. Ace 3 for G-net will go for the min open and take it down pre-flop. Ace 7 for Arthur, looks like an all-in. Queen 10 for Wizzo Wizzo and the big will just fold. Ace 8 for Arthur, 16 blinds, will stick it all in and get it on through. Ace and a 7 for Arthur, Facing the raise from Wizzo Wizzo. It's an all-in raise. Arthur does just land on the fold option. 8-10 for Wizzo Wizzo, ripping it all in for 18 blinds and getting it on through. You see, this is the shit we came here to see. Just everybody jam it all in, get it on through. We'll move along to the next hand. Wait for a cooler. Queen Jack versus Ace King is a cooler. Queen on the flop. Wizzo Wizzo's tournament. Just like that, G-Net's gone in 4th place. Played a very good game. Got some ladders. Boppity boo. Boppity bee. King 4 for Wizzo Wizzo for 16 blinds. We'll rip it all in and take it on down. Couple of 9s for Rate-A-Lot. Oh, I wanted to see a limp there. Maybe Wizzo Wizzo would put some pressure on him, but Rate-A-Lot just jams and gets it on through. Queen 9 will do the same thing. Ooh, Ace King versus Aces versus Queen 5. We're getting this in 3 ways. Queen on the turn? Are you serious? The tournament's over. Wizzo Wizzo gets the job done, ripping in the Queen 5 suited. Arthur calls with Aces. Rate-A-Lot flops top pair, top kicker, backdoor nut flush draw. Boppity boo, Queen on the turn. Are you serious, Poker Stars? See, this is the shit I'm talking about. Poker Stars has got something going on. No, I'm joking. Oh, Poker Stars, I kid with you. You just, you're a funny software. Funny happenings that happen there. Like, what do we think about the Queen 5 jam? It's for like, what? What's the size? 18 blinds? Huh. I don't quite understand why we aren't playing min raises, if we're being honest with you. Or if I'm being honest with you. Huh. Do we just jam and then we let them blind down? That seems like a very reasonable situation. You see, the thing is that I just don't think what we want to do is we don't want to double up Arthur right now. Boopity boo, boop, boop, boo. Obviously, we want to make 3 of a kind in a 3-way pot against Aces versus Ace King. Obviously, Wizzo Wizzo just wants to scoop the pot. But I'm just like wondering about like some of the logic behind this stuff. It's like, if our opponents don't wake up with Aces and Ace King, they're gonna blind down, and like we can see Wizzo Wizzo scoop almost the majority of the chips until Rate-A-Lot has like 8 blinds. Arthur will be hanging out at about 6. Like, we could just see Wizzo Wizzo jam, 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 take down all the pots. See the other 2 blind down. Whereas if you play a min raise strategy, you give your opponents the opportunity to play some post flop. 2 strong opponents, Rate-A-Lot, Arthur. Like, Wizzo Wizzo is very competent, obviously. But, why would you give your opponents the chance to play back at you when you can just bully them with a big stack? Huh, so it does make a lot of sense. And then just run like God. Wizzo Wizzo gets 3 of a kind. Huh. So I suppose that's the end of the show. So if you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this shit out. Hopefully we learned something here today. If we didn't, that fucking sucks. Alrighty. Adios, amigos.